Some of the biggest icons in the music industry started their career in groups. Robbie Williams, Missy Elliott, Bruno Mars, Nelly Furtado, Phil Collins, Fergie, Sting, Lionel Richie were all part of a collective before they became stars. In this video, we look at 8 of the biggest artists that came from groups. Beyonce. Beyonce is our first artist, as she started her career as a part of the chart-topping powerhouse girl group Destiny's Child. She was in another group, Girls' Time, when she was a kid, but Destiny's Child was her breakthrough. Formed in 1997, it quickly became an R&B supergroup, with countless hits like Bills, Bills, Bills and Say My Name. Even in those early days, Beyonce's charisma and vocal talent set her apart as a force to be reckoned with. She was clearly the biggest star in the group, that the term Beyonce of the group started to be used to describe the standout member of a group. So, in 2003, she stepped into the spotlight as a solo artist with her debut album Dangerously in Love. The album included hits like Crazy in Love and Baby Boy, showcasing a new level of artistry. In 2005, she went back to the group for their final album. And throughout the years, Beyonce also brought them out for reunion performances like at the 2013 Super Bowl halftime show and at Beachella 2018. She has had a stellar career that has lasted more than 25 years, with a string of #1 albums, record-breaking tours, and as the artist with the most Grammy wins ever. Justin Timberlake. Justin's story begins way back in the late 90s, a time where boy bands ruled the airwaves. He started off as a kid on the Mickey Mouse Club, alongside future stars like Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera. He then joined NSYNC after being scouted by Chris Kirkpatrick and Lou Pearlman, a scam artist who was behind boy bands like Backstreet Boys. The name of the group refers to the last letter of each member's last name: Justin, Chris, Joey, Jason, and JC. The boy band quickly rose to fame, dominating the charts with huge albums like No Strings Attached and Celebrity. In 2002, after a successful run with the group, Justin decided to embark on a solo career. His debut single, Cry Me a River, became an instant hit, showcasing a more mature sound. After dropping 2 successful solo albums, Justified and Future Sex Love Sounds, Justin ventured into acting, starring in films like The Social Network and Friends with Benefits. He came back in 2013 with the biggest album of the year, The 2020 Experience. He is an all-round entertainer, a Grammy-winning artist, a critically acclaimed actor, and a cultural icon. Justin Timberlake's spot as a pop icon is cemented. Michael Jackson. Michael's musical journey began in Gary, Indiana, alongside his talented siblings. The Jackson 5, led by a young and electrifying Michael, took the world by storm in the late 1960s. Their infectious energy and Michael's phenomenal vocals on hits like I Want You Back and ABC made them a global sensation. Michael's stage presence, even at a young age, was captivating. In 1971, he embarked on a solo career while still being part of the Jackson 5. Fast forward to 1979, and Michael Jackson's 5th studio album, Off the Wall, catapulted him into solo superstardom. With hits like Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You, he reached megastar status when he released the best-selling album of all time, Thriller, in 1982. He broke a lot of records with the album, filled with classic hits. He was still loyal to his group though. That was evident when he didn't even tour his most successful album. Instead, he went on the Victory Tour with his family, the Jackson 5. The group's first run only ended in 1989. Michael wasn't just a singer and a dancer. He was a true innovator. He pushed boundaries with his music and iconic performances. His legacy is one of a kind, as he redefined what it meant to be a pop star. Diana Ross. In the early 1960s, Diana joined the Primates, later known as the Supremes, alongside Florence Ballard and Mary Wilson. This wasn't your typical girl group. Led by Diana's powerful voice and captivating stage presence, they became a force to be reckoned with. She was the first Beyonce of the group. They shattered racial barriers in the very segregated music industry of the 1960s by becoming one of the biggest hitmakers of all time, scoring 12 #1 hits, with timeless smashes like Stop in the Name of Love and Baby Love. However, Diana's ambitions extended beyond the group, and by the late 60s, she began to perform as a solo artist on TV specials, and slowly transitioned into her solo career. She released her debut self-titled album in 1970. She totally dominated the charts, and by the early 80s, she had accumulated an impressive list of hit records. Hits like Ain't No Mountain High Enough and I'm Coming Out will forever be classics. Her solo career was as successful as her time with the Supremes, scoring 6 #1 hits. Harry Styles. Harry's story begins in 2010, at the young age of 16, when he auditioned for the British talent show The X Factor. On the show, he was paired up with 4 other hopefuls to form the group One Direction. Hits like What Makes You Beautiful and Live While We're Young quickly turned them into teenage heartthrobs. The group brought back the boy band era of the early 2000s, releasing 5 huge albums. When they released 4 in 2014, they became the first band in the US Billboard 200 history to have their first 4 albums debut on #1. Even if their run was short, they became global icons, selling more than 70 million records worldwide. In 2016, One Direction announced their hiatus, allowing its members to explore solo careers. This marked the beginning of Harry Styles' solo journey. Fans were eagerly anticipating his next album, because he was the biggest star from the group. In 2017, he released a self-titled solo album, a musical departure from his One Direction route. In 2019 and 2022, he released his albums Fine Line and Harry's House. They contained his biggest hits, like Watermelon Sugar and As It Was, which are 2 of the most streamed songs of all time. He has officially solidified his status as a solo artist. Lauryn Hill. While still a teenager, Lauryn joined forces with classmates Pras Michael and Wyclef Jean to form a hip-hop trio called the Fugees. They gained recognition with their critically acclaimed debut album Blunted to Reality. However, it was their sophomore album The Score that catapulted them into stardom. The album became a cultural phenomenon, selling over 18 million copies and establishing the Fugees as a major force in music, with lasting hits like Radio or Not and Killing Me Softly. Lauryn was the main reason for all those hits. Despite the Fugees' success, she craved more creative control. She took a break for a while, and in 1998, she released her solo masterpiece, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. The album became a commercial and critical smash, winning 5 Grammys, including 1 for Album of the Year, making Lauryn the first rap artist to do so. However, her career took an unexpected turn. She retreated from the spotlight, prioritizing her personal life and artistic freedom. While new music releases have been rare, her influence on hip-hop and R&B remains undeniable, as she is regarded as one of the best rappers of all time. Her influence echoes in the works of countless of today's artists. Camila Cabello. Camila's story begins at the age of 15, when she auditioned for the American version of The X Factor. Her initial audition was not even aired on TV, but during the boot camp portion of the show, she was called back to the stage to form a girl group that would later become Fifth Harmony. They quickly gained popularity, becoming one of the best-selling girl groups of all time. Hits like Worth It and Work From Home dominated the charts, propelling the group to international fame. But Camila was the clear standout from the group. At the end of 2016, she announced her controversial exit from the group to pursue her solo career. She released her debut album Camila in 2018, which solidified her position as one of the new pop girls. This is evident that she has scored massive hits like Havana and Señorita, which topped charts worldwide. George Michael. George's musical journey began alongside his high school friend when they formed the pop duo Wham! In 1981. With hits like Wake Me Up Before You Go Go and Last Christmas, they became household names. George's charismatic stage presence, signature dance moves, and soulful vocals made Wham! A global sensation. They also gave us the timeless classic, Careless Whisper, which was listed as Wham! Featuring George Michael. In the mid-1980s, George officially embarked on his solo journey with the release of I Want Your Sex, a bold departure from Wham's pop sound. His debut solo album Faith followed in 1987, featuring iconic hits like the title track and Father Figure. The album won the Grammy Award for Album of the Year, which solidified George's status as a solo artist. The 1990s saw the release of Listen Without Prejudice Volume 1, an album that showcased George's growth as an artist. His impact was undeniable, and his legacy lives on through his music. What did I miss? Tell me in the comments below.